Hello everyone, I hope you're all well. So what I thought I'd do today is a flip through, as promised, of my Inspiration January 2026, and I'll take you through it. There's not much to say. I mean, the Inspiration January is a list of prompts hosted by Raindrop Lila and friends who, she invited to join her, and inviting all of us to take part. And so that's what I did. And I rarely finish these prompt lists. I just lose interest, halfway through, or, sometimes I don't even get that far. But I really enjoyed just creating this journal. So Lydia from Raindrop Lila created some lovely printables, digitals, but I didn't use any, as far as I can remember, in here. And that was just a choice. It was nothing to do with her gorgeous printables. They're all beautiful. I just made a choice not to use printables in this journal, as far as I can remember. But, as I go through it, we'll see. Because I haven't been through it myself since I finished it. So I'll open it up. I've just got this really pretty ribbon here. So the cover was made using, I'll show you some details, just so you can see a bit better. It's quite bright. I made this cover during one of my mixed media sessions. I think it was Mixed Media Wednesday. Rudy's sitting on my chair behind me and he's not letting me. Rudy, I need some space, darling. Thank you. So I made this piece. It's on thick card, and then I put some brown tissue paper underneath it. So the actual journal itself was made from an envelope, or it might have been a bag actually. I think it might have been a bag. And then I put brown paper on top, quite thick brown paper. And then what I've done is I've just used this type of binding. It's, you can take the pages out using this type of binding. So let me go to the middle and I'll show you. You'll have seen it. If you're new to junk journaling, you might not have, but there we go. So you can just take the pages out by lifting them and pulling them out. That way, if you wanted to use the cover, you can use the cover again for something else. If you wanted to take a page out to work on it, for example, I did think about doing some more sewing on here, but I didn't in the end. But if you wanted to, you could take a page out and sew on it. So that's the beauty of it. I used my crocodile to put holes in, and then I, as you can see, I've used these, I never know what to call them, I call them grommets, but that's not the right word for them. Anyway, so that's what I did. And then if you do this, you have to bear in mind that your pages might be longer than where you put your holes. And so you need to bear that in mind when you do this. I didn't mind that it's sort of impinged on them a little bit, as you can see there. I didn't mind that at all, because, this is a fairly scrappy, even though I like it, it's a fairly scrappy journal. It's quite thick, as you can see. I haven't done anything with the back. That was me doing some, using some texture paste, and it got on the back and I left it because I quite like it. Right, okay, so let's open up. So I did covered all of it with brown paper, and then I covered it with these lovely vintage book pages, Life of a Tree. Love that. I'll show you the back at the end. This was the list of prompts from Raindrop Lila, from Lydia, I mean. And yeah, as you can see, I've ticked them off. I haven't ticked the texture paste off, and the reason is because I only did that today. It was the one that I struggled with the most, because my texture paste was too wet and it was just bleeding into everything, so it wasn't working very well. But everything else was done. I just did a little collage there. I wasn't happy with it, but it's on now. And then I did some stamping behind there and just some washi there. So that was the first page. This page I like because I used some text at the top, and I used this lovely cutout bird. And then here I've added a little scrap piece of papers, some scrap papers, just for decoration there. Some tea-dyed paper there. And then there's a pocket here. I don't think there's anything in there. No, but there is a quote here. So, without memory there is no culture. Without memory there would be no civilization, and no society, no future. And I also did a ruffle. So this was one of the prompts as well. So, sorry. I'm not going to go tell you which ones are which, because it'll take me forever. But you can see I've used some of Lydia's words as well. So Lydia provided us with, as a freebie, a list of words as well, which you can print off. You can still do this, I believe. I mean, I don't think, you know, it doesn't have to be January. You can use these anytime. So yeah. Just thinking, yes. So that was one of the prompts, the ruffle. Just a lovely page that I like. This is a house that belonged to Derek Jarman, and if you're British you might know who that is. It's a very special house in a special place. I won't say more than that. I mean, you can look it up. If you look at Derek Jarman, Jarmin, you will learn maybe a bit more about that property, and I just love it. I love that. Here I've just got a little cluster of things. I've got a card which I really liked, and they're just held on some tissue papers and some fabric. Really like those colours. And this paper is, I'm not sure what it is actually. I think it's for some sort of pattern paper for dressmaking or something. And then here, I have to take that off. Here I've got a little booklet or a folder, and then here I've got some papers. So this is the list of words from Raindrop Lila, from Lydia, that I printed out. I've added some of the words dotted about as well. Got words there. On the back I've just got a piece of scrap from a book, a French book I think, or an English book. Just added this piece of scrap. This is a haiku that I wrote some 2020, and I've added that in because I wanted somewhere to put it. And yeah, I can read it to you if you like. It's called The Magpie. I wrote this when I lived in my other house in the south of England, and we used to have a pair of magpies. We had a beautiful large tree at the back of the property. Well, I had a couple actually, but this one was particularly large, and it was right outside my bedroom window. And we would have magpies in the tree all the time. We would also have a pair of nesting pigeons, wood pigeons, and so it was a very popular tree. So anyway, one day Bobby caught a magpie, and the magpie that was left, I'm saying she, cried for several days, and it's a terrible cry. It really is. It's a squawk, but it's just awful to hear. It's terror. Anyway. So the magpie, heavy fog, twitching frustration, empty of tears, the ball is empty. Beauty. Darkness creeps, the magpie squawks, she's alone. So that was just a little haiku that I wrote some time ago, and this is by Mary Oliver. This is called The Morning Walk. There are lots of words meaning thanks. Some you can only whisper, others you can only sing. The peewee whistles instead, the snake turns in circles, and the beaver slaps his tail on the surface of the pond. The deer in the pine woods stamps his hoof. Goldfinches shine as they float in the air. A person sometimes will hun a little marla, or put arms around an old oak tree, or take out lovely pencil and notebook to find a few touching, kissing words. So look at those. So I just added those. So I think it's interesting that, you know, this is about words, and those two really are about words. That was the point of them. And then in here I've just done a little package with some words in that from Lydia. There we go. I've actually had, I mean, this is a bit of a boast, but I don't mind telling you that I've had some of my poetry published a few years ago now. Okay, this is a jelly print, an old one, and I just added just some words that I found in a magazine, a little interesting little picture, image, another interesting image. So I've left lots of writing space because I want to use this journal as my writing journal. Love this paper. This is from Hobbycraft, and it's just construction paper, but it's so good quality. You know, it's such good quality, and it's, you know, very sturdy. Never are voices as beautiful as on a winter's evening. They seem to issue from nothingness with a note of intimacy seldom heard by day, by Virginia Woolf. Didn't say that very well, but yeah, get the point. And there's another poem. I won't read this one. And just got some scrap paper there that I can write on. I thought this was nice. I like this. This was in a magazine, and you can copy a mandala and you can make your own. You can finish that one off and then make your own there. Just some writing paper here and more writing paper. And then you might have seen this if you saw some images that I put out, and this is just a flip out or a flip down. This is a lovely bright for me because I don't use colour very much, but in my work, but yeah, really bright, and I really like it. Jelly print, and I love this image, that's why I put that there. It's from a magazine. Oh no, it's from a book. Pardon. Nice vintage book page there. Flip out there that you can write on and do anything with that. Love this. This was from a magazine. I forget the name of it now. Lots of journalists use the magazine. I forget the name of it, sorry. Some writing space there, and a doily that's been tea dyed. Pocket with a card in that has been sewn and got some plant on there. It's got a fern, lots of stitching, as you can see. So it's a mixed media card, and here I've got another part of mixed media. That's from there. It was taken off this edge, but I wanted to use it so it's a tuck spot. And then I've got this, just a little sketch of some birds. I don't know what I was trying to do there, but I've added some, it was from a long time ago. Some of these things I found in my, you know, going through my old papers and things. Yeah, and then some of the words. This is a flip up, and it's one of my, so this would be my fabric, and it would little pieces of cloth that I liked sewed together, stitched together. Thought these two pages went really well together. The colours, loved it. And this is my hidden paper clip. Got the word connect on there, and then I have this which I've done some time ago as well. I like to use pieces of it. Let me see if I've got it. This is all I have left now, but I did have a lot of it. It was a large piece. There's a video of me making it actually, if you want to go and have a look. Just scroll down, you'll find it. I love that. So, and then I stitched it. It's quite popular, people liked that. And so I used a little piece of that. I'll leave those out. Just a page that you can write on. Not sure where that's come from. It was attached there, and it was attached with this paper clip. So, back of the paper clip. There we go. So it was attached like that. Lovely image there from a magazine. And this is from a book of papers, colouring book or something. This was something I did a few years ago now, probably 2022 maybe longer, 23, no, 2021 maybe, I can't remember, 22. And it's basically tissue paper that I've added glue on, and it's giving it more stability and an unusual look, and I wanted to use it in different ways. So that was the last of the pieces, I think. Here I've just used this lovely, did I? No, I don't. Oh yeah, I did there. So it was from a magazine or a book. Loved the image, and that is a could-do list, and you can tick it off. So I took it from a magazine. So it's a nice little list of things that you can do. Do you want to get down, Rudy? Sorry, that doesn't go there. This was something I did a while ago as well, and it's just a cluster with some stamping on there, tea-dyed paper, tea-dyed paper, and then paper bag pocket that I have strengthened with some paper inside there and some washi tape. I did some stamping on there, stenciling, and then I liked this. This is delivering the milk in a village in Flanders. It's from an old book that I have. Oh, this is a digital. So this is the first digital. I don't think there's any more. No, I don't think there are any more. I'm pretty sure there's not. So yeah, that's from a digital. So this is a quote from Henry David Thoreau, and it says, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined." And some writing paper there, some old book page there. I think this is from the Girls' Own Annual, so it's quite old. Some of this paper. This was another one of these collages on watercolour paper or some such paper. I can take it off, so like, you know, Oops, I don't want to remove that. So yeah, I can flip it out if I want to. I didn't think it would stick that much. Let me just show you. Yep, so I won't take it off there. You can flip it up like this. You've got writing space. And I added this stamp as well. So, but I like that. That was part of a bigger piece as well. So there's another part to this somewhere. A little image from a book or magazine, and another book page there. Pop that in there. And more of this. Found this old sellotape and an old sewing, you know, sewing cotton reel bobbin thing. Silk or thread. Another one of those ruffles. The other side of that vintage book page. A little journaling card, and this was taken from a magazine as well. More writing page. Here we have reedy. So a pocket. I haven't really stop. He does that when he wants my attention, but he doesn't need it, so I don't know why he's doing it right now. He's a little bit spoiled. So this is just a little, you know, folder, and there's a little letter there to me, and I just like the writing. Right, anyway, and then this on the back there with an altered paper clip. Another one, put that there. So this, I got the idea, I'll show you. Yeah. So I cut this out of, when I lived in Greece, there was a newspaper, and this was in the newspaper. It was some art pages, so I cut it out. But after I cut it out, I then used it as a template to cut this one out. And then I added this. I love this paper. It's just some paper that I've had floating around for a long time. It's faded down the bottom there. And then I added, because I knew I would never use the paper, you know, it's not the colour I would normally use, but I really liked it. And then I added this little belt, and so it creates a belly band, and I added these few little bits in. So this is one of those embroidery silk cards, and I will wrap some embroidery silk around it at some point, but I you know, because it was broken, just added some paper to strengthen it, but I thought it went well in there. Just some little bits of paper. Okay, and I liked the gold shining through there. This is a little pocket. This was from an art project that I did a long time ago. I've mentioned it quite a lot because I've got lots and lots and lots of them. They're all different sizes, and I use them as pockets. Oh dear, just cut that open. Need to glue it down. Preferably stitch it if you're going to use vellum like this, but anyway, it doesn't matter. It's my book and I don't mind. But yeah, so I put things inside. So I created sort of enclosures for bits of fabric and all sorts of different things relating to clothes. It was an art project that went to exhibition, so I had a few. It was exhibited twice. Anyway, that's an aside. That's going back 2009, maybe, I don't know. A little card, and the other side of these I added this image here from a magazine. I added this. I've got one of those little thermal printers, It's funny how quickly they become not redundant, but you know, sort of the next one comes out and it's so much better. But anyway, it's okay. It gives these little printouts. This is a real flower that I've just added to a book page, a vintage book page, and I've added this little cluster, not cluster, collage. There, another little, just, you know, edging on a page there, and one on that side. That again is from there. Didn't want to waste any of it. That's some, I don't know what happened, but it's part of a jelly print. But I always probably taking the last of the bits off the plate, the gel plate. Cut that out of a book, a magazine that I get for herbs. It's like a, you know, when a shop sends you promotional stuff, and it came from that. That was from Womankind magazine. If you've ever seen that magazine, it's a great magazine. Really recommend buying at least one. You'll enjoy it, I think. It's got lots of different things in it, and it's, yeah, just a really great magazine. This came from the same magazine as, let's have a look, where is it? There, so the mandala page there, that's from the same page. I took it off. But when I tried to do some paste, you know, using texture paste, this accidentally got stuck to the page that I did. It was a disaster basically, and it went all over the place, and then it got stuck to that. But I still wanted to use it because it's got little ideas for, you know, different designs, and I thought that was really nice to keep. This is a piece of napkin, and so you get your 3 layers on the napkin, and this is the second layer. So you've got your top layer and then the second layer, and you've got that lovely ghost print on it, and I really like that, so I left that. This was a cupcake paper that I used. I think it's really pretty. I can't remember where I got it from now. I think it's from IKEA. I don't know. And then there's just this little tuck to go, you know, thing to tuck in there. Scrap piece, and then I've got some pages from magazine. Some, you know, that I've cut out, interesting bits. The other side of this, jelly print. Got more jelly print, sort of, you know, print off there, and then an interesting piece of newspaper there on this paper. Can't remember where I got that from, but it's got sewing on it. Here we've got inspiration from within. Now this came from somewhere. Okay, so it's from somebody called Christina Colley. I'll read it to you. Creativity is the result of combining seemingly unlikely thoughts and ideas to produce something new. There is nothing truly original, and every creation is based on existing concepts connected in a novel way. The real uniqueness lies in the individual viewpoint determined by nature, nurture, and life experiences. It follows that creativity comes not from the external world, but from within. Personality traits, surroundings, upbringing, travels, hobbies, and experiences all contribute to influence a person's perception of reality and shape their perspective. The act of creating is an act of self-expression, so looking within and trusting your vision are essential to producing innovative work. So I thought that was inspiring and very much in line with what we're doing with, you know, the prompts and just generally. Little flower with faith. So sunflower is symbol for sunflower, or one of them is faith, so I added that. This is just an interesting cutout from a magazine. Here I've got a little, this is my index card that I've stamped on and watercolour paint and what have you. I did a little pocket and an altered paper clip, and then a little journaling card or tag or whatever, doesn't matter. And that just sits under there. This was a sketch that I did some time ago, and I just cut out the word "the simple things" and added that there. And this is my, finally, got it done, my final page with the texture paste. This you might have seen if you saw my when, you know, making some of the actual prompt. So this, I want this come out. Oh, I actually went all the way through this time. Okay, that's not good. Right, so this is my little pin board. I showed you it in the last, in one of the sessions that I did for making. I added these things to my pin board. So this was actually pinned on like that. Just try and get through. So it's got fabric underneath. That's how I've used it. So the idea was that pin would go through the fabric because it's not completely glued on. It's only glued on. In fact, you see it's a video of me making this. You can go and have a look if you like. And then I just added these various things on. Pattern and just cloth and all sorts of things. So this just gets added to there. That's the other side of that plant life page, and I did some stamping or stenciling, and that's it. So really happy with it. Enjoyed doing it. Thank you, Lydia, for the ideas, the prompt, and for, you know, generosity. I've loved doing it, and I've loved being creative and having a go. Didn't go in. Let me just see if I can get it in while we're on. There we go. Easy peasy. And that sits there like that. And close it up, and there we go. So I'm really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there's inspiration in here for you somewhere. There's lots of bits of, you know, there's sketching, there's collage, there's all sorts of things. There's a pin board, there's this technique that you could use, cutting out from templates that you find. It's a little, there's poetry, you could write your own haiku, you know, all sorts of things, collage. So lots of artwork in here. And there's some slow stitch. So I hope you enjoyed that. And of course then there's this technique for, you know, binding a book, which is interesting. It's the first time I've done it. Or no, it might be the second. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. And I will be back very soon for more. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.